Alright, I just wanted to discuss some of the things I've been realizing, because things are moving really fast for me right now, just with a lot of stuff that I've been studying and researching and finding out. Really the biggest thing that I wanted to discuss is how I strongly and firmly believe that we are truly being set up as a people here. And when I say set up, I mean we are being duped in the biggest fucking way, man. Okay? Now, I've said in my other videos, I'm about to be 27 years old. I've gone through my whole life up until about 4 or 5 years ago of being in mainstream secular Christianity, okay? And I had to go from that to being involved with this consciousness movement, these new age paradigms, and now I'm back at realizing that it's all promoting the same thing. The new age stuff, this whole consciousness movement is promotion and push for a one world way of doing things. And if you are not able to see this yet, you will notice it in the New Agers and the consciousness people's speech patterns, as far as all is one and one is all. If the term one world government is not cue enough as to when they say one is all and all is one, if that's not clue enough to where we're headed, then I don't know what to tell you, because from what I'm looking into, all these things that we have to partake of are contaminated versions and meshing with, they've basically done away with the true Christ way of doing stuff. They've perverted it entirely, okay? From what I'm seeing now, the person we really want to be looking to is the real Jesus, trying to find out who that man was, the role he plays in our lives, how to pray properly. Because once you start seeing this, there's no going back. And you're going to start to realize that the people who are not involved with the whole consciousness, New Age movement, the ones who are exposing it for what it is, are the ones who are going to be deemed as disinformation agents. The real disinformants are the ones calling themselves truthers. The real disinformants are the people who are working for the people who are pushing this agenda. And just from trying to even talk to some people that I used to talk to involved in this New Age consciousness stuff, cannot even begin to hear or see what I'm talking about, because they're so far gone into it. I hope this is making sense to people. I really, really do. I'm telling you, man, the people who are seeing this are the ones who are being ridiculed and torn down, because it's true. It's true, man. It's true, and I can see it plain as day. What can I see plain as day? Just the amount of people buying into this, because the consciousness thing, the New Age thing. Everybody's, oh man, it's like everybody wants to feel good for the moment, okay? Everybody wants something that will take away their pain and their sorrow. To me, what's taking away my pain and sorrow is my realization, my reality checks. I am finally starting to feel at peace through realizing this stuff. Alright? I really truly hope that other people start seeing this. And I've come down to the line where all these people who are practicing this stuff, they're pretty much becoming like minor witches and wizards. Do you think I want to deal with people who might possibly try and put hexes and spells on me because they think they know what they're doing, or they think it's a cool thing to do? Man, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I just hope that people can maybe hear anything that I'm saying at all, if anything. Thanks, guys.
Years ago, we knew the earth was flat. Bullying was the only way to live. You were murdered if you turned your back. The entire world was engulfed by this violent belief system, destroying most evidence of those pre-existing. Hard to believe? Just think of all we're not learning. Lost throughout time due to countless book burnings. Any surgeon finds research in silence, yet some continue to blur the lines of certain science. Corruption in the church, burned minds, serpent spine surface. No words to describe those turbulent times. Merciless lies seem to dictate the course of history. Intellectual deception being the biggest victory. Discipline to the art of persuasion and patience. Agents of chaos, willing and able to dictate nations. Fixated patriots, will to survive. Mixed up with anger, he would kill with a rock if it meant that his children were safe. Wouldn't face danger, still had a place to raise his little angels. But at what cost came the blood loss? Did he ever stop to think of why he had such thoughts? Was he flowing with the current through the veins of a juggernaut? Subtle option, but that's often hard to swallow. Your retired lifestyle's a predetermined model. That's the reason that you ain't been sleeping at night. You're restless, searching for the higher meaning in life. Disconnected long ago from our spiritual meaning. When the first man killed to justify his beliefs, and now the eye of the beast is why in its reasons we keep feeding off a rotten diet of liars and thieves. Something oxymoronic about the term civilization when you consider that warfare is our most successful creation. You see, killing is the business, and business is good, whether it's religious conflicts or just banging in hoods. Nowadays, all you know is what you see in the news. It's where you get political philosophy and base all your views. It's where you get lied to your face and told what to do, told how to live, breathe, and die. Ignore the cover-ups, there's nothing new. I'm not the first to say it, won't be the last. Probably the newest, though, you've heard to speak so elaborately. Instead of just questioning my methods as a skeptic, why don't you go ahead and check the forensics? At least 2 shooters shot Kennedy. Yes, there's proof to support it. It's always been there for anyone who's cared to explore it. Obvious to only those who choose not to avoid crazy facts like Gary Webb was murdered for exposing Oliver North. Rick Ross went to jail, they made Ollie a hero, when the truth is, he was the kingpin drug dealer. But they make you forget, his Thomas Todd's story was short-lived. He lied to the Supreme Court, they got his own show on CNN. It's just a small link of the chain of how they secretly reign, right under your nose with the proof in plain sight. You may not realize it yet, but we're in the same fight, on the same side. Close your eyes or wake up your mind. If the subject material seems familiar, it's because Ill Bill said it best. Society's brainwashed. Look at all of the things we've already forgotten. Mr. President swore he was against lobbyists, was voted into office for a bunch of empty promises on things that he knew he couldn't commit to. Convinced you he'd get us out of Iraq in a year and a half. How many of y'all actually believe that? South Park said it perfectly, damn. What's the point of voting if it's always between a douche and a turd sandwich? As the world spins on its axis, backstabbing bastards practice black magic, act democratic but are actually radicals. Hard to believe, yeah, kinda sorta. But nowadays, who ain't heard about the New World Order? The crusade debris ignited and the battle is on. Zionists ruling in the shadows of the Vatican throne. I shatter the known, declassify the average Joes with intelligent music relevant to what's going on in these days and times. These waves of crime, not just in the streets but within the system itself, trying to preach that they need more money and more power, and even more unquestioned authority by the hour. Artificial adversaries spark controversy and mark targets. Harvest on the terror manifested in darkness. Sound far-fetched? Star bets, roll out the red carpets. The darker side of life is a bitch, full of heartless barbarians, something like the Aryan race, trying to rule the world and their plan is nearly in place.